This week we naturally provide you with another original episode. This time it's about one of the most popular animation franchises of recent years, namely How to Train Your Dragon. After 3 hugely successful movies, the last of which was released in 2019, there is unfortunately no 4th part in sight. Today, we talk about how likely it seems that a 4th part will be released after all and what it could be about. So, have fun with our newest video. First, we'll recap the storyline from parts 1 to 3 to bring you up to date. In the first part from 2010, we dive into the world of the Viking offspring Hiccup. In contrast to his comrades, Hiccup is very dainty and has little in common with the fearsome Viking. Just like his father, the chieftain Stoik, Hiccup has the desire to kill a dragon. As the Viking village is suddenly attacked by dragons, young Hiccup is given the chance to prove to his father and everyone else exactly what he's capable of. At first, he succeeds in shooting down a Night Fury, a particularly dangerous species. Against the old Viking tradition, however, the two become friends and Hiccup's life is turned completely upside down. Finally, the fight between dragons and villagers is proclaimed to be over, and both sides live peacefully with each other from then on. In part 2 from 2014, Hiccup and Toothless, as he names his dragon, have been friends for 5 years. During one of their many exploratory adventures, they come across a mystical ice cave populated by many dragons and especially the legendary Dragon Rider. It eventually turns out that the masked rider is Hiccup's mother, who was believed dead, and that she lives among the dragons here exploring the actually peaceful beasts. The unscrupulous Drago Bloodbeast, who fears nothing, sees things differently and wants to train the dragons for his army. In the end, the conflict ends mildly for the villagers as Drago loses control of his army and has to flee. Hiccup is appointed chieftain due to his outstanding achievements, and the village is rebuilt. Part 3 was released in 2019 and continues the story of the previous ones. Hiccup and his girlfriend Astrid take care of the day-to-day business in Berk, while Toothless has risen to become the leader of the dragon colony. The peace does not last for long, of course, since a new threat looms. On the one hand, a Light Fury enters the life of Toothless, on the other hand, the evil dragon hunter Grimmel is after the dragon leader. The solution to the problem is to discover the so-called secret world where the dragons can live in peace. After a difficult confrontation with Grimmel and the discovery of the secret world, the alpha dragon Toothless finally manages to lead his fellow dragons to the secret world. Hiccup and Astrid's personal happiness also flourishes more than ever as the two marry the following winter after settling down on the new island. The film series ends with Hiccup and his family flying away on Toothless and Stormfly, and his voice off screen saying that he wants to keep the dragon's existence a secret until humanity is mature enough for them to coexist peacefully. In addition to the 3 main films, there's also the small but nice Christmas special called How to Train Your Dragon Homecoming from 2019. The story revolves around the now significantly aged spouses Astrid and Hiccup and their 2 children Zephyr and Nothing. They're all preparing for Snuggletalk, which is a big family celebration with plenty of presents hidden in the Vikings' helmets. Over the course of the 22-minute spin-off, Father Hiccup tells his children how important peace with the dragons is, and as if by magic, Hiccup's old companion Toothless appears to share one last great adventure and to reminisce with his former master. Before we discuss a potential plot for a 4th part, it should be said that director Dean DeBlois has already clarified several times that no 4th part is planned and that the 3rd part has already completed the storyline. Many fans were hoping that the relatively large time jump at the end of How to Train Your Dragon 3 would make room for more content, and this is where the older Hiccup and the older Toothless are united with their families. The 22-minute Christmas special How to Train Your Dragon Homecoming also makes you long for more, as even the story of Part 3 somewhat continued there. In our opinion, there are 4 possibilities for a continuation of the How to Train Your Dragon series. On the one side, there could of course be a direct sequel to Part 3 in terms of content. For example, the plot could be set after the special Homecoming and tell a final story of Hiccup and Toothless. 2 would likely have another exciting adventure, but ultimately such a sequel would probably feel very repetitive and unnecessary. The ending of Part 3 fits wonderfully with the conclusion to the film series and is a successful ending for both the fans and the studio. Thus, a seamless sequel is the most unrealistic scenario in our opinion. The second possibility would be a story of Hiccup's children Nothing and Zephyr. They could have reached teenage or adulthood after a time jump and follow in their father's footsteps. For instance, 2 parallel stories of the siblings' existence could be told and the story could eventually be brought together. Besides the aged characters from the previous 3 parts, new characters could be introduced without losing the charm of the original. The main problem at this point is that Hiccup simply cannot be left out of the main role, and that overall we know far too little about the children. In addition, the time jump that would be necessary from part 3 to part 4 would probably feel kind of odd given that the parts before only covered a period of few years. Something we also consider possible is a prequel that takes place before the first part. This third scenario is not unlikely, especially because neither the universe nor the characters would have to be changed. They could, for example, focus on life before Hiccup's birth or tell the story of the village of Berk, thus show the audience a bit more of the truly lovingly designed world. As a fourth and final option, we also envision one or more spin-offs. In any case, the film universe has enough interesting side characters. Stories about the former lives of Hiccup's parents, Astrid, or, of course, Toothless come to mind. In the case of the latter, for example, they could tell us how the dragon got to Berk in the first place and how he became the dragon he is. We definitely think this is the most likely option, partly due to the fact that this scenario offers a lot more creative possibilities. The fourth scenario is also supported by the fact that director Debla already wrote off the rest in 2014. Things would be different with spin-offs, of course, since the original by author Cressida Cowell also consists of 12 books. Hence, the franchise is far from dead, but it's highly unlikely that fans can expect a seamless follow-up in the form of a possible Part 4. Now, naturally, we're interested in your opinion. How likely do you think a sequel to the How to Train Your Dragon series is, and which scenario would you prefer? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you like the latest original, be sure to subscribe and leave us a like. See you next time.